Today's lesson is anticipating the Olympic Games. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
Hello, I'm Kiki.
And, of course, it's July now, so later in the month, the Olympics are going to begin in Paris, France. Are you a big fan of the Olympics, Kiki?
Yeah, there are a couple sports that I do enjoy watching. I like to watch diving, weightlifting, and some of the track and field events. Actually, there's a lot, I think, that I really enjoy watching during the Olympics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, although I'm more of a fan of the Winter Olympics for some reason.
Me too.
I guess I'm from part of the country where we did a lot of winter sports, skiing and skating and stuff like that, so I like to watch like the speed skating competition and stuff like that. But they're not happening this year. We've got the Summer Olympics happening in Paris, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And lots of people are fans of the Olympics, so they'll be waiting for the Olympics with great anticipation. So if you anticipate something, of course, you're waiting for something to happen and you are very excited. Lots of people, of course, anticipate summer vacation so they can go outside and have a great time before school starts in the fall. So let's anticipate the Olympic Games in today's lesson. We've got Mia and Henry having a conversation. Let's listen to part 1, recalling the last Olympics.
Anticipating the Olympic Games. Recalling the last Olympics. Mia and Henry are excitedly discussing the upcoming Paris Olympics.
Can you believe the Paris Olympics are just around the corner?
I know! It feels like the Tokyo Olympics happened only yesterday.
Exactly. Remember when Simone Biles withdrew from the finals of the all-around gymnastics competition? It really shed some light on the mental pressures athletes face.
Oh yeah, that was a big moment. But you know what I found most memorable? It was when Gianmarco Tamberi and Mutaz Barshim shared that gold medal in the high jump and embraced each other as they celebrated together.
Yeah, that was amazing. It showed Olympic camaraderie and sportsmanship at its finest.
That's true. Moments like that are really what make the Olympics so special. The dedication and perseverance the athletes have is simply awe-inspiring.
Definitely. They trained tirelessly for years for just a few moments on that grand stage. It's remarkable.
Agreed. I can't wait to see what unforgettable moments will happen this time around in Paris.
大家好，第一部分介绍形容词 upcoming， 表示即将到来的或是即将发生的。例如 I'm excited for the upcoming concert next week. 我对下周即将到来的音乐会感到兴奋。或是 Many believe that the politician is ready for a victory in the upcoming election. 许多人认为这位政治家已经准备好在即将到来的选举中取得胜利。继续看到动词 withdraw， 它的意思是退出。例如 The athlete withdrew from the competition after she injured her knee. 这位运动员在膝盖受伤后退出了比赛。也可以说Jason had to withdraw from the running race when he hurt his foot. 当 Jason 的脚受伤时，他必须退出跑步比赛。另外补充这个字作为撤回或提款的用法。举例来说 Robert withdrew his bid on the house. Robert 撤回他对那间房子的出价。或是You can use an ATM to withdraw cash from your account. 你可以用自动提款机来领出你账户里的现金。再来介绍动词 embrace， 表示拥抱或是欣然接受、采纳。我们可以说 Susan embraced her mother before she moved abroad to study. Susan 在搬到国外念书前拥抱了她妈妈。又或者说Veronica embraced her husband when he exited the airport. Veronica 拥抱步出机场的丈夫。接着看到名词 dedication， 它的意思是专心致力、献身或是奉献精神。例如 Learning to play the violin takes a lot of dedication to practicing regularly. 学习拉小提琴需要高度的专注来进行定期练习。又或者说The teacher was given an award for her dedication to teaching. 该老师因对教学的奉献而获奖。 下一个看到名词 perseverance， 表示坚韧不懈或是不屈不挠。例如 When it comes to success, perseverance can be more important than intelligence. 说到成功，毅力可能比智慧更重要。又或者说 Mindy's perseverance in school paid off, and she was accepted to a good university. Mindy 在学校的坚持得到了回报，她被一所好大学录取了。
Okay, so here we've got part one. Mia and Henry are discussing the Paris Olympics, which are coming up, but they're also recalling the last Olympics, which took place in Tokyo not too long ago. So they're recalling the last Olympics. They're sort of talking about what happened in the last Olympic Games in Tokyo before they go on to discuss the ones that are coming.
That's right. Mia and Henry are excitedly discussing the upcoming Paris Olympics. So upcoming is something that is about to happen or an event in the future that is coming up very soon or something that's going to happen very soon. And that Paris Olympics will be happening very soon in the later part of this month. So Mia begins the conversation by saying, "Can you believe the Paris Olympics are just around the corner?" She's really excited. She can't believe that Paris Olympics are coming soon. It's just around the corner. When something's just around the corner, it's basically describing something happening very fast. Usually we'll hear, "Yay, I'm so excited because Christmas is just around the corner." It's describing that you're excited about something that will be happening very soon.
Right, so of course, around the corner means it's going to happen very soon, but it could also actually refer to a location like, hey, can you tell me where Marvin's Pizza Restaurant is? Oh, it's just around the corner. Go to the end of the block, turn left. You can't miss it. But in this particular case, if something's around the corner, it's going to happen very soon. Hey, summer vacation is just around the corner. What are you going to do this summer? Well, here, Mia, of course, thinks it's kind of weird that the Paris Olympics are happening so soon. And Henry says, "I know, it feels like the Tokyo Olympics happened only yesterday," which is kind of true to a certain extent because the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo were postponed a year because of COVID. So usually we have to wait a full 4 years for the Olympics to return. This time we only had to wait for 3 years for the Olympics to return.
Right. So Mia says, "Exactly. Remember when Simone Biles withdrew from the finals of the all-around gymnastics competition? It really shed some light on the mental pressures athletes face." Okay, so I actually remember this incident, and it was very surprising, but I think a lot of people gave Simone Biles a lot of credit for doing that. It's important that an athlete really takes care of their mental health first. So what happened was she had a lot of pressure, and just before the finals, she withdrew from it. So she was doing very well in the Olympics. She was placing very high, but because she wanted to take care of her mental health, she withdrew. Okay, so when you withdraw from something, it's basically when you decide to leave something or when you decide not to do something, you're taking yourself out of a situation. It's not exactly quitting something. Quitting has a more negative light, but in this case, she withdrew from something because she had a whole thought process and they thought about the consequences of what might happen if she did such a thing. And in this case, she decided to not continue in the finals of the all-around gymnastics competition. And gymnastics is basically a type of sport where you have to be very flexible and you have to perform a lot of different types of exercises and tricks with your body. For example, cartwheels, somersaults, and balance beams, and things like that.
Right, so that's what gymnastics are all about. Sometimes, of course, they are the focus of the Olympics. It seems like most people are excited to watch the gymnastics competition, especially when we've got some really great athletes like Nadia Comaneci back in the 70s and, of course, Simone Biles. But she withdrew from the finals in the last Olympics competition, and that, of course, sheds some light on the mental pressures athletes face. So if you shed light on something, it gives us some information about something. It reveals something to us that we did not know before. We assume these athletes are made of steel and that they can take anything. But indeed, if you're an athlete, you're under a lot of pressure, not only to do well, but you're under pressure from your friends and from your family and from your country and from advertisers and people like that. So sometimes people crack under that pressure. Now, Henry says, oh, yeah, that was a big moment. That was very significant. But you know what I found most memorable? Do you know what I thought was the most exciting thing to remember in regard to the Olympics in Tokyo? It was when Gianmarco Tamberi and Mutaz Barshim shared the gold medal in the high jump and embraced each other as they celebrated together. I think I remember that. Yeah, they actually jumped the same height or something, so they were tied for first, and they decided to share the gold medal. I think they provided each one with a separate gold medal.
Right, and this was really interesting to see because it really showed that these athletes, even though they're competitive, but when they feel like they've met somebody, when they've met their equal match, they really respect each other. And because of that, they also embraced each other. So when you're embracing someone, you're basically hugging somebody, but at the same time, you're also accepting someone. So they really embraced each other's talents. They really accepted that they were equals. And that's basically why they would be willing to share a gold medal, or else I don't really know of a lot of athletes that are willing to share a first place finish. So that was really interesting. So Mia continues to say, yeah, that was amazing. It showed Olympic camaraderie and sportsmanship at its finest. So what camaraderie basically means is when people are coming together for a cause, kind of like a brotherhood or coming together to do a certain thing. And because you're experiencing the same thing, you kind of build a different type of relationship and you're trying to get through this experience together.
Right. You might have a lot of camaraderie in your company, for example. All your workers are friends. They get along very well together. They spend a lot of time together, so they have a lot of camaraderie in the company. And also, this was a demonstration of great sportsmanship. If you have great sportsmanship, that means you think of the competition as being among peers, that these people are not your enemies. You're competing together for the sake of the sport. You're not trying to beat each other and embarrass each other and make each other cry and things like that. No, you're all part of a competition together, so you have great sportsmanship. Like, for example, if you know somebody hit the ball correctly into your court, but the judge ruled it a foul, well, you can come up and say, no, that was a fair ball, even though I did not hit it back. It was fair, and so you have great sportsmanship in that particular instance.
Right. And Henry goes on to say that's true. Moments like that are really what make the Olympics so special. So seeing all this camaraderie and sportsmanship and seeing how athletes behave and treat each other, that is really what makes the Olympics so worth watching. And he continues to say, the dedication and perseverance the athletes have is simply awe-inspiring. So we know that athletes that want to get to the Olympics, they basically spend their whole lives training for this. And it takes a lot of dedication and perseverance. Dedication, or to dedicate something or to dedicate to something, is to really spend a lot of time focusing on this one particular subject or focusing on something, and you want to perfect this thing that you're working on. So you can dedicate your time on your studies, you can dedicate your time on your family. So it's something that you really want to spend a lot of time doing.
Right. Dedication and perseverance are very similar in meaning, but dedication means you believe in the concept and you don't quit, whereas perseverance means you endure despite the difficult circumstances. So, yeah, if you want to be an Olympic athlete, you've got to persevere, you've got to keep on training, even though it is very painful at times and you just don't want to do it, but you got to do it anyway. It involves a lot of suffering and sacrifice. So, yeah, you got to have a lot of dedication and perseverance if you want to be an Olympic athlete, and those things are simply awe-inspiring. If something inspires you, it influences you in a positive way, and awe here just means you really respect something. You look at these people and think they're great heroes. So yeah, if it's awe-inspiring, you really look up to these people and you really respect them, and maybe you wish you were like them as well. Now here's what Mia says. Definitely, that's true. What you said is for sure 100% true. They train tirelessly for years for just a few moments on that grand stage. It's remarkable. Indeed, the Olympics only last a couple of weeks, but those athletes have been training for years and years.
That's right. And Henry agrees with Mia's statement. He says, agreed. I can't wait to see what unforgettable moments will happen this time around in Paris. Obviously, at the Tokyo Olympics, we've seen lots of very interesting things happen, and Henry and Mia are really excited to see what's going to happen. So that comes to the end of part 1 of our dialogue. Let's listen to part 2.
Embracing new sporting horizons. Continuing their discussion, Mia and Henry talk about some sports that didn't make the cut this year, as well as some new ones. I can't help feeling disappointed that there won't be a baseball competition at this year's Olympics.
I feel you, Mia. It's a bummer to miss out on such a classic sport.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing whether the US would be able to take the crown from Japan this time.
But hey, even though baseball's out this year, breakdancing will be making its debut in Paris.
Breakdancing in the Olympics? That's wild.
Right? Sport climbing, skateboarding, and surfing will also be returning for just the second time this year.
That's so cool. Those sports may not be traditional, but they require immense physical strength, flexibility, and mental toughness.
No doubt. I think they deserve recognition just like any other sport.
Totally. They'll bring a fresh vibe to the Olympics, and I can't wait to witness it all.
第二部分介绍名词 horizon 指的是范围、眼界、视野，但也可以是地平线的意思。举例来说 Many people say that travel can help you broaden your horizons. 很多人都说旅行可以开阔你的视野。又或者说 As the sun set, the orange and pink shades painted the sky along the horizon. 夕阳西下时，橙色和粉色的阴影沿着地平线描绘了天空。最后看到名词 flexibility 表示弹性或是灵活度。我们可以说 At Judy's office, there is a great deal of flexibility in working hours. 在 Judy 的办公室里，工作时间有很大的弹性。也可以说Dancers must have a great deal of flexibility. 舞者必须有绝佳的灵活度。
Okay, part 2 is entitled Embracing New Sporting Horizons. So you expect or you embrace or you respect what's going to happen in the future. That's what horizons are, basically, what things are going to happen in the future. And they're continuing their discussion. They talk about some sports that did not make the cut this year. There are sports that aren't going to be included in the Olympics, but they're also talking about some new ones. Mia says, I can't help feeling disappointed that there won't be a baseball competition at this year's Olympics. Oh no, Taiwan always does quite well in baseball, but there's no baseball competition. That's because there are so few countries in the world that actually play baseball.
That's right. And Henry also says, I feel you. I agree with you, Mia. I know what you're feeling. It's a bummer to miss out on such a classic sport. When something is a bummer, it's something that really is disappointing and it's really sad to see. You're disappointed that you're not going to be able to see baseball this year, and to miss out on something is basically that for a lot of people, they won't be able to see baseball. So even if they weren't familiar with baseball before, they used to be able to see baseball in the Olympics as a sport. So if you don't usually watch that sport, you could actually get some knowledge about it. But because it's no longer in the Olympics, they're going to miss out on it. And Mia continues to say,
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing whether the U.S. would be able to take the crown from Japan this time, which means Japan probably won it last time. They're usually pretty good at baseball. And Henry says, but hey, even though baseball's out this year, even though we don't have the baseball competition, breakdancing will be making its debut in Paris. Debut is the first time that something happens, so they're going to have a breakdancing competition in the Olympics. I guess lots of people enjoy breakdancing all over the world. And Mia says, breakdancing in the Olympics? That's wild. That's really strange. I did not expect that.
Henry says, right? Can you believe it? Right? Sport climbing, skateboarding, and surfing will also be returning for just the second time this year. So those are some sports that were new at the Tokyo Olympics, and they're going to be coming back in Paris, and those are all new sports as well. And even before, when skateboarding became a part of the Olympics, a lot of people were really surprised and confused. And now breakdancing? So Mia says, that's so cool. Those sports may not be traditional, but they require immense physical strength, flexibility, and mental toughness.
Flexibility just means you're able to adapt to different kinds of situations, and indeed you need to move your body in many different ways. You need to be flexible, or you need to have flexibility. And Henry says, no doubt, it's true what you said. I think they deserve recognition, just like any other sport. So yes, indeed, these extreme sports are going to slowly become more and more involved in the Olympics. Indeed, lots of people enjoy them all over the world. And Mia says, totally, they'll bring a fresh vibe or a new kind of feeling to the Olympics, and I can't wait to witness it all. So you're certainly looking forward to the Olympics this year, aren't you, Kiki?
Yes, and I'm more excited to hear from our favorite Chinese teacher, Henny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。先看到课文标题是 Anticipating the Olympic Games， 热烈期待奥运到来。那么 anticipate 这个动词就表示期望、预期、预料。那我们来学习它的字首字根。先看到 anti 这个字首呢，跟反对、对抗没有关系哦，它其实是字首 ante 的变形，表示之前。那么字根 cip 表示接受、拿取。字尾 ate 是动词字尾，合在一起 anticipate 它的字面意思是事先取得，比别人早行动的意思。那么后来引申出预期、预料的语义。好，那这边顺便介绍一下 ante 这个字首。ante 它表示之前、先前的，或是在什么什么之前的，常常出现在复合字当中。像 anteroom 就表示它是通往较大、较重要房间的前厅、接待室。好，那我们这边也补充几个带有 anti 这个字首的单字。第一个是 antenatal， 它的字首 ante 表示之前， natal natal 它表示出生的。那合在一起 antenatal 就是指产前的、出生前的。第二个介绍的是 anterior， 它的字首 ante 表示之前， rior 它是形容词字尾，合在一起 anterior 它就可以用来形容前面的，像是空间啊、时间或顺序上是前面的，或是可以表达先前的、较早的。那第三个补充的是 antedate， 它的字首 ante 表示在点点点之前， date 表示日期，合在一起 antedate 可以表达时间上是先于什么什么，早于什么什么存在。好，那么在课文第一部分的对话里， Mia 和 Henry 正在兴奋地讨论即将到来的巴黎奥运。 Mia 就说 Can you believe the Paris Olympics are just around the corner? 你能相信巴黎奥运即将来临吗？那么 around the corner 它可以表达在转角处，在附近不远处，或者是像课文的用法，用来比喻即将发生就要来临的意思。举例来说 Chinese Valentine's Day is just around the corner. 七夕情人节即将到来。那么另外 corner 它除了指街角转角，也可以引申指困境，像 in a tight corner 字面意思是位于死角，那是用来比喻说陷入困境，处境艰难。还有像 paint oneself into a corner 油漆到最后把自己困在墙角，你又不能去踏到那个刚漆好的地板上，那像这样的用语就是用来表达把自己逼到墙角，陷入困境的意思。还有呢，如果是 turn the corner 这则是指说情况有所转变，通常是指度过难关，脱离困境，有好转的意思。好，那以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Anticipate. Hannah is eagerly anticipating the arrival of the new computer she ordered. Withdraw. After hurting his elbow, Reggie made the difficult decision to withdraw from the tennis competition. Embrace. Mrs. Hudson embraced her husband, happy to see him after his long trip. Dedication. There is no shortcut to success. It takes hard work and dedication. Horizon. I'm hoping to expand my horizons by living abroad for a few years. Debut. People waited in line for hours to buy the new phone when it made its debut. Flexibility. Anna always stretches before exercising to improve her flexibility and reduce her risk of injury.
Well, everyone, today's article has come to an end, and I sure hope you enjoy reading along with us. I am Kiki.
I am Roger.
See you next time.